Good morning. As you can see, I'm not alone. You're probably sick of the sound of my voice as I am, so I brought along a guest. So we're going to carry on looking at a bit of Matthew 16, but first I want to just pray. Father, thank you that we can always come to you, whatever time of day that is. And I pray you just bless our conversation now as we look at your word. Amen.
Amen.
So Matthew 16, starting at verse 13. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do the people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." So I just wanted to look at and talk about this morning about Jesus' question to Simon, "Who do you say that I am?" And I guess for Simon Peter there was a cultural context of the long-awaited Messiah, Christ, the anointed one, the returning one that had been prophesied about in throughout the Old Testament. But I guess my question for me and for all of us to think about is so what in our time, who is Jesus to each one of us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things about this question is Jesus wasn't asking Peter what does the world say that I am? What is everyone else calling me? I really think he's asking Peter, what am I to you? What have I done in your life? What specific ways have I shown up so that you know that I am who I say I am? So yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess his first question is to the disciples, isn't it? Who do the people say that I am? And then he says, "But what about you?"
Yeah.
So that's what the people think, but what am I? Who am I to you?
Yeah.
And I guess that's as important a question now as it was then. And I guess the thing that goes through my head is that it might not be, Jesus Messiah might not have a cultural context for people out there today, but actually who Jesus is for each one of us is still so important.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's so important to share what it is that Jesus is to us and the way that he's shown up in certain areas, because there is power in our testimony, and I think people outside in the world, so to speak, they'll have an understanding of what it is that we see Jesus showing up as, because he's showing up in the situations that they're in as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to note that Jesus isn't asking Simon for validation of it.
Yeah.
He knows full well who he is and what God's called him to do. So it's very much about who am I to you. And I know for me, when I think about Jesus, and one of the things that really gets me when I think about what he's done and what he's done for me is always to think of him as a bondage breaker, as someone who breaks the chains, the things that hold us, the things that hold us back. That he's the one that comes and breaks those things and gives us freedom and brings us into freedom. I guess for each person it'll be slightly different on your experience of what Jesus has done in your life. Yeah,
definitely. So some people might have experienced Jesus as the healer, whereas others might not, and that's again why I think it's so important to share what Jesus has been to us and what he is to us in our individual lives, so that other people can be encouraged by our testimony. So yeah, I know for me, one of the ways that I've really seen Jesus show up in my life, and one of the ways that I know that Jesus is who he says he is, because of evidence in my life, is his faithfulness to fulfill promises even when I didn't think it was going to happen, and I thought it was just one of those things that I'd made up, but actually Jesus pulled through and he was faithful, and those promises were fulfilled. And I think that's one of the ways that I know that Jesus is who he says he is.
And I think there'll probably be many facets of that, of who Jesus is to us. And you saying that makes me think, oh yes, actually, he is the one that's faithful. He's never let me go, never let me down. Even when I thought there's times when the whole world was turning upside down, actually, he's always there. And he's never left and never left me go.
Definitely.
So I think it's really important that we grapple with this for ourselves of who Jesus is to us.
Yeah.
But it's important that we share that with other people so that they can understand that too.
Yeah, and we would really, really encourage you guys to share with us like how Jesus has shown up for you and how you know that Jesus is the Messiah and what he has been for you specifically in your life, because it's so encouraging to hear, it's so encouraging to share with each other like we've done what Jesus is being for us right now or has been before, because your testimony could be the exact thing that someone needs. So if you have a testimony of healing, maybe Jesus has healed you from something, maybe there's someone in our church family that is praying for healing right now, and perhaps hearing your testimony of how Jesus has shown up as the healer for you could encourage them that Jesus could do the same thing.
Yeah.
So in the YouTube comments or the WhatsApp group, definitely share those.
Yeah, there's real power within that testimony of what Jesus has done and is doing in our lives. So please do be sharing that, because what you experience might unlock understanding for somebody else.
Yeah, definitely.
So do be pondering that as you go through the day. Bless you and have a good day.